Hey friends, Jeff here with missionmusician.com and mixpractice.com. I have a very short video for you on getting a big fat kick drum sound. And this is pretty simple to do. I'm going to be using VTM, VMR, and trigger. I am not triggering anything with trigger. I'm using it for its gate, and I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. But this is a way to get a good kick drum sound quickly. It's important to mix quickly. You don't want to spend 3 or 4 days on a song, because what happens is you end up and you get used to that sound and you lose track of where you're at. Okay, so in order to mix quickly, we have to have tools that we're familiar with that we know can achieve a certain sound quickly. And VMR, specifically the Neve EQ, the FG I'm going to show you some settings on here in just a minute that will help you get your kick drum close to a really good sound if you're mixing like rock or pop. Okay, so maybe not so much on dance and rap, but rock and pop, this works really well. All right, so I'm going to start with VTM to emulate the music coming from a tape machine into a console. Okay, so pretty standard settings here: the 2-inch 16-track, FG 456, and 30 IPS on the speed. Okay, so without it, okay. Next, I'm going to open up VMR here, and I'm going to turn these off for now. I'm starting with the console, and technically, since I'm using the FG73 and the FGN, technically I should be using the Brit N. But this whole song that I'm mixing, I'm using the Brit 4KE. So that's why this is on this track. Okay, so and it sounds good. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Let's bring it in. All right, so that's helping. Next, I have the FG73, and this is kind of a, sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I won't. But I think it's adding enough to this sound that it's worth using, so I'm going to bring this in now. All right, so it sounds to me like it's pushing the upper mids a little bit forward. And then this is what I really want to show you. This is where all the magic happens. All right, so I have the FGN here, and this is kind of known as the Neve EQ Trick, with the exception of this move here. I added this one in. So what you would do if you had some sort of, it doesn't have to be the Slate FGN. It could be the Waves, the Sheps. I think it's the Sheps Neve. I can't remember exactly what it is, but Waves has one. UAD's got a Neve emulation. So I've rolled up to 50 hertz. I've turned the drive on, and I've cranked the line input. Okay, and then I am boosting at 60, or right at 60, and then I'm boosting at 4.8, and then I'm also boosting the shelf a little bit. This is a 12K shelf, I believe. I'm boosting it by 1.5 dB. All right, and then I'm doing a small cut at 450. Actually, a fairly large cut. I take that back. 5 dB at 450. All right, so listen to what happens to this kick when I bring this in. All right, so it's got some meat and it feels thick, and if it wasn't cutting enough, I could boost the 4.8 up a little bit, or even the shelf up a little bit. But this is, I feel like this kick's already, bright enough in the beater end. I just felt like it needed some more weight down below. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm boosting quite a bit at 7 dB, almost 8 dB. Okay, then I added a compressor afterwards with a slow attack and a fast release, the 11 or the FG116. So let's bring that in. All right, so that's tightening it up a little bit, but there's still a problem to me. There's still that woo, woo, woo down on the low end that I don't like. I like my kick drum to be nice and tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use trigger, not sampling. You can see here, I don't know if you're familiar with trigger or not, but here's where the samples go down here. You can see this completely empty, and you can see the mix is set to 0%. Okay, now you will see the waveforms still show up here because it's, you know, it's reading the waveforms of the kick. However, I am only using the gate. So watch what happens when I turn this on. All right, so the kick really tightens up. This is awesome. I love this gate, and I really wish Steven would implement this into VMR somehow, because this gate is spectacular that comes with trigger. And, you know, we can really tighten up the kick drum, right? So let's do that. All right, that would probably be more for the metal genre, but I like it somewhere around 500 milliseconds, somewhere in that range. So we're getting rid of that woo, woo, woo. Right? So let's listen to this without the plugins, and then I'll bring them in. Kind of sounds papery. Okay, so pretty simple. If you have Slate's Everything bundle, you can certainly achieve this. Even if you don't have trigger, you can just use a regular gate. So pull in the FGN and try these settings on your next kick. Now, it may not work perfectly on your kick. This is more geared towards maybe pop, rock, maybe even country a little bit. Not so much EDM or rap, but just give it a shot. See if you like it. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video real soon.